Welcome to NBA Jam PatmanQC on Fire Edition. Boom shakalaka!
Happy little games. They say the definition of a pilgrimage is a visit to a sacred place in a dedicated journey that will allow for spiritual growth or renewal. I myself have made one of these pilgrimages just a few weeks ago. The sacred place that any retro gaming fan needs to experience is none other than Galloping Ghost. That's right, my friends. We are on the road to the world's largest arcade that makes every retro gaming fan weak in the knees, which is Galloping Ghost. Thankfully, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump in a mere 3 hours from where I live. Thanks to my good buddy Steve, who is not only the wheelman in this adventure, but also the cameraman. Along with my partner in crime, Chris, we are going to check it out and, in the process, have a whole lot of fun. For those of you who don't know, Galloping Ghost is located in Brookfield, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. It's actually been in business for almost 15 years, and as of just last month, the actual number of arcade machines up and running and ready for you to play is just about 980, making it the world's largest arcade. I say just about because the owner and founder, Doc Mack, is constantly adding new machines. Hey everybody, PatmanQC here. We are live at the one and only Galloping Ghost. We're going to go inside and do some spectating and some play testing, so come on in and check it out with us. When you first set foot inside these hallowed halls, and after picking up your jaw off the floor, a wave of nostalgia will instantly sweep across you. Almost every arcade game from your youth is here for you to enjoy. After first arriving, I ran into another fellow YouTuber by the name of PD7. I had actually used some of his footage from the Milwaukee Gaming Classic, so it was cool to finally meet him in person. I then suggested we give Killer Instinct a try, but to be honest, I think he let me win.
Midwest Gaming Classic.
Midwest Gaming Classic. Plus, you had that awesome video that I use on my channel.
I appreciate that.
It's such a small world, running into each other like that.
The capital arcade of the world.
Galloping Ghost, it can't get much better than that, right?
It's awesome.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Pleasure to meet you.
You do.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
That's the only way to get better pick game.
What's your take? What do you think like Omar? What do you think of Omar?
I think it's cool. Not only do we have Punch Out, but we have Super Punch Out as well. And then we have the whole line of Nintendo titles, all the way from Mario to Super to the original to all 3 Donkey Kong games. And that's just on this side. Over here, we've got some classic shooters. There's Chiller. This is the one where you dismember people. Well, I'll take my word for it. All right. We have some rare games as well, including Tattoo Assassins, Outrun, a whole bunch of fighting games. Go ahead. Bunch of racing games all along here. Virtual Racing, pole position. The original Night Driver. I think that's from like 1976, 1977. And we have Super Pac-Man, APB, Hard Driving. It goes on and on and on. Vendetta. We've got everything. Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. We have Mat Mania, one of my favorite wrestling games. There's Sly Spy. And even some old driving games like Stockford. This place has it all. Wow, look at all these arcade games. It's absolutely amazing, everything that you see here. If this doesn't bring back nostalgia, I don't know what would. With another rare game, Judge Dredd, found exclusively here at Galloping Ghost. I'm going to give it a whirl.
In Mega City 1.
There you go. Shooters Row. All the games in this section are shooters. There's even some rare Japanese ones as well. So any self-respecting shooter fan needs to come up here and check these out. You will be glad you did. When you think you're going to run out of games, you come across a new section where there's even more. There's some kind of rare things, such as roller games, which I've never seen in person, and Sonic Championship, which is a fighting game, which didn't get released widespread here in North America. This building is a wonderful, nostalgic maze, and I wouldn't be surprised if more than a few people have actually gotten lost. Every corner you turn and every breath that you take is pure retro gaming goodness, and by the time I was done, I was one pooped PatmanQC. I have done 2 laps around this building, and it is so big, I had to sit down and take a rest. Look at the sweat pouring off me. The original name of Cubert, it is whatever the hell this is, but it's only here at Galloping Ghost. Just playing a little bit of Cubert here, that's all. What do we got going on, Batman? Playing a little bit of Cubert here at Galloping Ghost. Getting ready to clear the first stage. Oh, no. The controls. Here we go. That's how it's done, folks. Just like that. This rare 3-player game from the early 80s, The Three Stooges. Classic game, again, only here at Galloping Ghost. Exclusive to Galloping Ghost is Beavis and Butthead. This is one of the only ones here in North America. 1995 Jackie Chan. I have never seen this one. It looks like it's a one-on-one fighter from Kaneko. Here we have Spawn. I've never seen this game before, but looks like it's from Capcom in 2000, and looks like another brawling fighting game. So very cool. There's another rare game, Pitfall 2, The Lost Caverns. Never have seen this before in person, only on MAME. I've never done any sort of hallucinogenic drug in my life, nor experienced any LSD flashbacks. However, when roaming up and down each aisle and looking at all the games of years gone by, I couldn't help but get that funny little feeling in my tummy and a small tear in my eye. This is the stuff that my childhood was made of, and it was so cool to feel that feeling once again that I thought was lost forever. Here we go, folks, a little Pouyon action. Gotta stop those nasty wolves from attacking our babies. Oh, son of a gun. Oh no! Coliseum from Sega. One of the very first holographic video games, which you have to see in person to believe. Videos don't do it justice, and any self-respecting moron is going to reach in and try to touch the holograms, but most of the time it doesn't work. Exclusive to Galloping Ghost is Beavis and Butthead. This is one of the only ones here in North America. We're here at the concession stand for Galloping Ghost. They have everything you could possibly imagine. They've got drinks, they've got snacks, they've even got ghosts on strings. They have pretty much everything, and you can play all day for only 25 bucks. You can't beat that with a stick. Here we are, getting ready to play Mat Mania, one of my all-time favorite wrestling games. Let's see how I do. This game was cool because it had celebrity cameos in the crowd. You could look up and see Superman, ZZ Top, Batman and Robin, Darth Vader. Plus, it played a mean game of wrestling. Oh, take that. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, you son of a gun, you! Oh, here we go! 1, 2, 3! Oh no! Another cool piece of arcade history that would have been lost to time is the unfinished helicopter level from Narc. The developers of this game installed a brand new board into the unit at Galloping Ghost, so this is the only place in the world you can actually play this. The ROMs have never been dumped, so you cannot play this on MAME.
Just whipping right through with the helicopter. Dropping bombs?
Apparently this level is not finished. So we shall see. He even has a number of original props and memorabilia, including the actual head of Mr. Big that was used in the filming of Narc, as well as a signed marquee by the original artist of Q*bert, Jeff Lee. The Silent Hill Arcade. I can't pass this up. Brian Collins Row at Galloping Ghost. We've got Rampage World Tour, Xenophobe, Sarge, and Deathstalker. Very cool. Doc even has the arcade split into sections, which include fighting games, shoot-'em-ups, and light gun games. What was really cool was I saw a custom cab which included a combination WWF Superstars and WWF WrestleFest. I would have killed for this back in the day, and I probably would right now. Speaking of wrestling games, I finally got to see the arcade version of WWF Royal Rumble. I had this on the Dreamcast, but I have never seen one in person. Something else I had never seen in person was Sega Strike Fighter. This 3-screen combat flight simulator didn't see widespread release here in the States, so it's really cool to finally see it in action. There are even newer games on display, such as the aforementioned Silent Hill, as well as Aliens Armageddon from Eugene Jarvis's company, Raw Thrills. There is also some rather unique ones that I had never seen in person, such as Laser Ghost from Sega, as well as Contra Evolution. Even Chris, who is technologically impaired and is afraid Skynet will happen sometime soon, even got in on the act by playing a little bit of Firefox. Down the last section of Galloping Ghost. Now we're getting into some crazy rare games like Crazy Climber 2. Stuff that I've never seen before. And you gotta love Pingo. Pingo, Pingo. What else do we have here? Trojan. I always have one of those in my wallet. Thankfully, the good doctor was kind enough to spend a few minutes talking with us about Galloping Ghost. You just opened up your pinball section. How many pinballs do you have in there?
Well, our pinball building has 45 pins in it. That's been open. We just had our 5-year anniversary in March for that.
Okay.
Our newest thing at the arcade, we've had 2 new expansions.
Wow.
Within the last, I'd say within about the last month. So we got rid of one of our backroom areas, which got us about, there were 20 games that we put in there, about maybe 25. And then we finally knocked down the last wall. So we occupy the entire ground floor of everything.
Holy cow.
There's 93 games in there, so
Wow.
we're at 980 games as of today.
And you've got those all packed in here, 980 games.
980 games.
Oh my gosh.
We're off doing the C2E2 show, so we probably have 25 games off the floor right now, but those will be back on Sunday night.
Okay.
And Monday, we're putting 981 on the floor. So
Wow.
creeping up to 1,000.
What is the most rare game that you have?
Oh, that is a tough one. We've got so many one-of-one games. We've got a special-made version of Narc that has a bonus level that one of the programmers gave to us when we did a big Narc event. We've got unreleased prototypes like Beavis and Butthead and Tattoo Assassins, Primal Rage 2.
Oh.
We've got very rare Gottlieb games like Argus and Arena. Arena is one it's not even been preserved on name or anything. It's the
Really?
only place you can see that. We've got large rare titles like the Sega R360.
Is that, I'm going to stand over here for a second. Is that that R360, is that available to play? Is that up and going?
It is up and running. We have it in our back room area. We need to have an attendant on hand to actually run it.
Okay.
So right now it's still like we fire it up pretty much every day.
That's awesome.
It's part of the turn on process.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
all the games are running, but it is currently kind of set with scheduling, just because like you do need somebody for when people are hitting that panic button. You got to get them situated and sitting right.
You want to explain what the R360 is to everybody who doesn't know?
So the Sega R360 was a machine that was put out in Japan back in 1990. There was about 100 of them made. They were supposed to cost around a little over $200,000 back then. And you basically sit in it, and the machine spins not only completely around this way, but around this way as well. So you're playing a game G-Lock, but it's G-Lock R360. So when you're doing a barrel roll, you're doing a barrel roll. And when you're doing a loop-de-loop, you're doing a loop-de-loop.
And that's where the 360, the name comes from.
That is where that comes from.
That's pretty awesome. So how long have you been here?
The arcade is in August 13th. That'll be our 15-year anniversary for the arcade.
Amazing. So. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you've done so much to contribute to the retro gaming community, so it is fantastic. My buddy was curious what the rent was on this place.
For the electric bill.
Electric bill, that's what it was. Yeah, he was curious about that. Pretty high, right?
Unpleasantly high. We run everything that's supposed to have a CRT monitor has a CRT monitor. So we found out this is years and years ago. So we probably only had about maybe a little just under 600 machines, and we had one of our lines burst and called ComEd, and it was on a Saturday. So we had about 300 people here at the arcade at the time.
Oh my gosh.
And we called them up, and a holiday weekend was very busy.
Yeah.
Called up ComEd, and we're like, yeah, we're having a problem with one of our lines. And they're like, yeah, maybe Tuesday, everybody's gone. And they're like, well, what's your account? And gave them the account number. They pulled it up. They're like, oh, no. We'll take care of you right away.
Wow.
So they had somebody here within 15 minutes, and power was back on within 15 minutes.
That is cool.
That.
Wow.
Just kind of a little insight as to how much we pay, where if ComEd is making sure that we're running good.
What do you got going on up at C2E2?
We brought about 25 games. We brought a pretty solid mix of stuff that people will recognize, Rampage and Mortal Kombat and Qbert, and then definitely some rarities that people probably have never heard of.
That's pretty cool.
Just to kind of give them a mix of what they can see here.
Sure. And the pinball section, that's 3 buildings down? Is that where that's at?
It's actually 2 blocks down on this side of the street.
Okay.
Back when we had pinball here, I don't feel we did it really well. We maybe at the most had 11 machines, and they would kind of domino. Once there were 2 or 3 of them down, then the remaining machines would get so much more play because there was less options.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
having it in a separate building, it definitely gets a little bit more of the pinball crowd and not just the more casual people that are just kind of like beating on the machines. So
That's cool.
It's worked out well. We try to keep everything up and running, and
You have a nice mix there, old and new.
We don't have too many EMs. We've got Fireball. Then we've got a lot of monster themed games, Creature from the Black Lagoon and Monster Bash. We've got all 3 Elvira games. So pinball, I love pinball, but it's definitely a very different creature than the video side for me. So
I think that first Elvira pinball machine is probably my all-time favorite.
was it?
Yeah.
Excellent game. Excellent game.
That and the Addams Family, the other one too.
That's another one we have. Great game. Great game.
Good stuff. The pinball section. They just celebrated their 5th anniversary and recently had an expansion. Apparently they have 45 pinball machines ranging in everything from the 70s all the way up to the current stuff. Let's go inside and check it out. After pulling and tugging and pulling about 47 times, we realized the hours of operation were between 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. However, after checking some various YouTube videos and their official website, they do appear to have a wide variety inside, including the Addams Family, X-Files, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and many, many more. Doc Mack is always looking to expand the area, so once he has the necessary space, he's going to include a whole lot more. After our 5-hour experience at Galloping Ghost, we were feeling a bit peckish, so we decided to hit one of my favorites in the Chicagoland area, which is White Castle. After devouring a tray full of food, I was ready for a trip to the hospital, but settled for the bathroom instead. The next day, we attended C2E2 and even managed to check out the Galloping Ghost area, in which Doc had brought in 25 arcade titles, including Primal Rage 2, but the one I was the most excited about was the original Batman arcade title from Atari. I had never seen one of these in person, so it was really cool to finally play it.
What do you think, Patman?
Batman. I've never seen one of these in person. This is the first time.
Here's your Battletoads.
Battletoads and Primal Rage 2 as well. It's another rare game.
We got PatmanQC over here on Batman.
After this, we wandered around a bit, getting our picture taken with everyone from Jessica Rabbit to Chucky to the Mandalorian. Deadpool, along with Wolverine on a scooter, was also present. And let me just say, if you've never been in Barbie's box, you don't know what you're missing. And unbeknownst to me, even Retro Rob made an appearance. To say it was a great weekend is an understatement. Galloping Ghost has to be seen to be believed. For $25, you can play all day long. This is truly a fantastic bargain, especially when each of these games used to cost at least 25 cents to play. If you've never had the chance to visit a retro arcade, do yourself a favor and visit the biggest and best in the world, which is Galloping Ghost. You'll be glad you did. Another big shout out to my buddy Steve for taking me on this trip, and also my good friend Chris for helping out. I would also like to thank Doc Mack for his hospitality and chatting with me. He is truly a nice guy, so if you happen to see him, make sure to stop by and say hello. Big shout out to Pete and his YouTube channel, PD7, for allowing me to use the footage of us playing Killer Instinct. He has a number of cool videos on his channel where he talks everything retro and even throws in some superhero toys from time to time. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to support me on Patreon, please click the link below. If you would like to contribute but not sign up for my Patreon, you can always click the donate button up above. Thanks everyone for watching.